I'm Zoe Hughes from Zebra Business Solutions, and today I want to give you a quick run through about website image compression. I do work from home, and my home happens to be a tiny city centre flat, so apologies for my nice kitchen on display, but I will share my screen soon, so I hope you don't find it too distracting in the meantime. Image compression is really important for website SEO and conversion rates. People don't like to wait around for websites to load, and Google understands this, and it will rank faster loading websites higher than those that are slow. That means if you manage your own website, if you upload your own images, anything like that, chances are those images aren't as compressed and optimized as they could be, and your SEO rankings and conversion rate could be reduced as a result. Obviously, we don't want that. I'm going to show you why it's important to compress your images, what Google has to say about it, the software that I use to compress my images, and a plugin for WordPress that you can use if you prefer. And I'm going to guide you through every step of the way. But if you do have any questions, please leave them as a comment below, and I will reply to you as soon as I see them. So let's share the screen and take you away from my kitchen. Okay, so this is from Page Speed Insights, which is a Google tool. You literally, let's do it from scratch, shall we? Go to Google, Page Speed Insights. Like I never ever type when I am on camera. Speed Insights Google Developers. So here you basically enter the website address that you want to look at. So I'm going to look at the image library that I download stock images from. It will analyze a page. This can take a few minutes, so you can set it up and come back to it after you made a cup of coffee or something. Now what it's doing is it's going through every element of your website that can slow down how quickly it loads, essentially. So how long it takes to send messages back and forth from the server. So as you can see, this website's actually pretty bad for mobile, but most people use it on desktop because it's for downloading images, and that's 78 out of 100, so it's on amber. So ideally you want it in the green zone, but amber is okay. But as most people use mobiles, 15 is pretty bad. And it will tell you why it's slow to load. But if we go to this photo that I found earlier, this is likely what you will find if your images aren't compressed in your website and it's slowing down your website. So it's saying properly formatting and compressing images can save many bytes of data. Optimize the following images. So it will tell you which images are particularly large file size or slow to load. And it will tell you ideal recommendations for reduction in that file size. So if you find anything like that when you do page speed insights on your website, then it's a good idea to reduce your images, compress them, and re-upload them. Now to do that, I use RIOT, Radical Image Optimization tool. So I just typed in RIOT image compression. It is completely free for Windows. There are similar tools on Mac. I don't know what they're called, I've forgotten. I will try and find out and add it to the description. So yeah, you just download it, and I already have it downloaded. So this is RIOT. Basically, you can open a file or you can drag and drop it. So this is the original one. Let's open that. And it tells you straight away the initial image is 624.67 kilobytes, and if we optimized it, it would be 108.66 kilobytes. That's a substantial saving. I set it to auto original format. Sometimes the suggested format isn't right. It will tell you a file that you don't need. So I generally keep the original format unless I want to change from PNG to JPEG, in which case I'd do custom format and I would change it here. So I've got it set to progressive. I've got quality to 80%. We can set it to 100. But that does increase the file size. So it just shows you how much one reduction can save you. You can't really tell the difference. I can't see any obvious difference at all between 80%. Wow, that's 100%. That one's 80%. Maybe the colour's a little bit more diluted. Maybe. I don't know. So we click save. Already done it, so saving over that file, and that's it. So there is an alternative, and that is to use a plugin. Now, one of the most popular plugins is called Smush. It has changed its name a couple of times, so let's search for Smush. Yeah, Smush lazy load images. It is free. There's a premium version, but you don't need the premium version. So we'll just install that. Activate it. And then Smush will work in the background so that when you upload an image, it will automatically optimize new uploads. You can strip your image metadata. So if you take images using a camera, then they tend to have a lot of extra information in there, like the date, the time, that kind of thing that you don't need. So that gets stripped. And lazy load is recommendation from a Google PageSpeed test. So that helps with your speed loading. So as you see, it's going through my media library to see what needs to be compressed. I'm 34, so Smush now. So if you have a load of images on your website already and you don't want to download your images and have to go through RIOT, not compress them that way, you can use Smush to do it. I think it will only do 100 images at a time, so it can take a while. But Smush is currently running and it's going through all of my media library to compress the images on the website. I've never used Pro, to be honest. It uses content delivery network, but I have that with my web host anyway. Next gen web images are a good idea, but they're still relatively new, and they're really for e-commerce type larger websites at the moment. There are free plugins that can turn your images into next gen, if that's something you want to look into. Or to convert PNGs to JPEGs. That's something I said I was going to talk about. Let's look at the difference between a PNG and a JPG. This is a PNG image. That's because I wanted it on a white background. So to get a transparent picture that was just the dog, I had to make it a PNG. If I'd used a JPEG like I have here, you can see roughly the white border to it because JPEG automatically puts in a white background. So the only time you really want to use a PNG is if you want the picture to be transparent, so something like a logo, or you just want it to be seamless in the web design. That's when you'd use a PNG. But normally you would use a JPEG because JPEGs are smaller file size, they're faster to load, and most people don't need what a PNG provides. So that's the difference. So on RIOT, you can change, it automatically selects the most suitable format. So you can change from JPEG to PNG or PNG to JPEG. And that is something that it says Smush Pro will do for you as well. So do you mind looking into Smush Pro? I don't think it's necessary, but it is an option. But yeah, it's basically saying that on the free Smush, you save 9.8%, and on the Pro one, you'd save 21.8%. And that's why I use RIOT, because it just does it. It's free and you don't have to pay to get the full compression. So that is Smush. And that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. If you do have any questions, please let me know and I will answer them as soon as I can. Have a great day.